So there I was, sitting at my computer, reading Twitter, and I saw the complete shock from people when it turns out that Sarah Sanders was going to be brought on to Fox News. I believe that's what happened. It might be in the story. But there was like shock. They were like, oh man, it's the state TV channel, and they were insulting it. And then I saw the tweet from Oliver Darcy, a media reporter from CNN, saying that Andrew McCabe was being brought on. It's like, man, talk about, I guess, is that ironic? Is that ironic? Like, they're going to criticize Fox News for bringing on a former government employee, and then they do literally the same thing. So it's kind of. But here's a story from BizPac Review. 15 former spooks who work at CNN and MSNBC now. So spook is a reference to like spy, government agent, and boy, do they have a hefty list. So why is this? It's really weird. And then you end up with the deep state conspiracy theories. Now, I'm not a big fan of the conspiracy theories. People like the QAnon stuff. No, leave me out of that. But there has been talk of something called like a permanent government. And outside of any conspiracies, I'll just say this. It is true that when the democratic institutions churn, the intelligence agencies have employees who stay on between administrations, giving them an anchor point in our government and giving them control. So imagine this. Trump says, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z before getting into office. They vote for him. As soon as he gets in, an intelligence agent, individual hands him a folder saying, here's everything that's happening in the world and what you got to do. And the president says, wow, I really have no choice, do I? And that's why I think the office is kind of irrelevant. In referencing like promises made by the politician, it's like no matter who gets in office, they go to war. But maybe it's because they're being fed intelligence from the same people. Maybe it's because there really are global problems and our intelligence agencies are correct. I guess the conspiracy theory is that the intelligence agencies are all lying or something. Well, I don't know about all that, but I will say this. Isn't it weird that CNN and MSNBC hire so many of these people? I find it kind of creepy. So let's read about these 15 former spooks. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address. But of course, the best thing you can do, share this video. The D ranking is hitting everybody really, really hard. And if you like my content, just share it to help keep it going. But don't forget to like and comment because those really, really help too. So from BizPac Review, they report CNN added to its deep state. I'm sorry, I didn't say deep state. It's deep roster of former FBI and CIA officials turned analysts Friday, with the hiring of Andrew McCabe, the former FBI deputy director, fired for lack of candor during an investigation last year. McCabe is the 10th ex-FBI, CIA, or intelligence community official CNN has hired during the Trump administration, according to a Daily Caller News Foundation analysis. MSNBC has followed closely behind, having hired 5 former officials, including former CIA Director John Brennan. CNN was widely mocked on Friday after announcing the McCabe hiring, largely because the network has criticized its competitors for hiring former Trump administration officials. But the personnel move is also part of a larger trend that has come under scrutiny from some media observers. Now, let me stress this point. If they want to hire a former FBI or CIA person, I think it's a great idea. They have insight and experience, right? They want to hire 15, I'm going to be a little bit confused. Certainly 2 or 3 is enough, right? But 15? Now it's starting to sound weird. But let's read on. Jack Schaefer, a media critic who writes for Politico, noted the potential pitfalls of networks like CNN and MSNBC having a stable of ex-spies and G-men as paid on-air contributors. Quote, but the downside of outsourcing national security coverage to the TV spies is obvious, Schaefer wrote in a February 5th, 2018 article at Politico. They aren't in the business of breaking news or uncovering secrets. Their first loyalty, and this is no slam, is to the agency from which they hail. Glenn Greenwald, an editor at The Intercept, the founder of The Intercept, I believe, who covers national security issues, echoed that sentiment during a Fox News interview in March. And not only did MSNBC and CNN use those people as their sources, they hired them as their news analysts. So if you turn on CNN or MSNBC, it was basically state TV. It was CIA TV, he told Tucker Carlson, March 26. Greenwald and others have noted the lopsided analysis offered up by former officials, especially on the topic of the Trump-Russia probe. Isn't it really funny that for years we hear about Russiagate? We have all of these people talking about it and it was all fake. And the network still hire these people? Why? It's really strange, isn't it? Why would you hire someone who was wrong for years? right? Like, let's step aside, okay? Let's ignore the fact that they're former government employees, they're government agents for intelligence agencies. They were wrong. A lot of them were wrong. Why hire them? Who cares about their analysis if they have no idea what's happening and their speculation was wildly inaccurate? Glenn Greenwald is on the left. He is not a fan of Trump. Yet he complained MSNBC would not have him on. And he said it was because he wouldn't push the Russiagate narrative. In fact, he pushed against it, as did many others on the left, saying these government agencies are making up this weird Russia scare nonsense for some reason. Let's read on. They say most have hewed to the network's general viewpoint that Trump or his associates conspired with Russia. Fake news. Others, like McCabe, Brennan, and former National Intelligence Director James Clapper, have all defended the investigation of the Trump campaign. They've maintained their defense even in the wake of the special counsel's report, which debunked the theory that the Trump campaign conspired with Russia. Here's a rundown of CNN and MSNBC's most prominent analysts. First, they start with James Clapper, Director of National Intelligence under Obama. As the nation's top intelligence official, Clapper was intimately involved in the investigation of possible ties between the Trump campaign and Russian government. He set up a now infamous January 6, 2017 meeting with top intelligence officials and then President-elect Donald Trump. During that briefing, then FBI Director James Comey told Trump about the existence of the Steele dossier. 4 days later, CNN reported that the briefing occurred. Hours after that, BuzzFeed News published the Steele dossier in full. Republicans have accused Clapper of leaking information to CNN for its report, though he has denied it. Though he was hired by CNN, which is kind of funny. And then we have Andrew McCabe, former FBI deputy director. CNN announced on Friday McCabe would serve as a law enforcement analyst. McCabe was fired from the FBI on March 16, 2018, upon the recommendation of the Bureau's Office of Professional Responsibility. An investigation determined that McCabe lacked candor under oath regarding his authorization of a leak to the media in October 2016 regarding the FBI's investigation of the Clinton Foundation. McCabe sued the Justice Department and FBI August 8th, claiming that he was fired due to pressure from Trump. Listen, why would you want to bring on someone like this? Why would you want to bring someone on who was fired from the FBI? Why wouldn't you bring on someone who maybe, I don't know, a journalist who has covered this stuff and it doesn't have a conflict of interest? I can understand bringing on a former employee, but why one of the most controversial? Look, I'm not making this video to allege any conspiracies. I'm just saying they have a clear bias. They are clearly biased against Trump. They are hiring on people who are accused of one thing or another, and who clearly don't like the president. James Baker, former FBI general counsel. They say Baker, a CNN legal analyst, left the FBI in May 2018 under a cloud of suspicion. In a congressional interview on October 18th, Baker's lawyer revealed he was under criminal investigation for an unauthorized leak to the media. And then he gets a job. So, I gotta say, it's like clockwork. We have Josh Campbell, former aide to James Comey. We have Asha Rangappa, former FBI special agent and leading collusion conspiracy theorist. Isn't it interesting that these people who were hired aren't just like former FBI agent, had no role in Russian collusion? Stephen Hall, a former CIA Moscow station chief and outspoken critic of Trump. Can we get one FBI agent who's not a critic of Trump? And she's been like, I ran the fax machine. If you want to bring on someone as an analyst for law enforcement, I get it. It makes sense. But why is it that everyone they bring on they all have some kind of anti-Trump or pro-Russiagate narrative behind them? Now, look, I'll say it's possible that everyone in the FBI believes it's true, except for the fact the special counsel said it wasn't true. So at this point, you'd think there'd be FBI agents who are like, yeah, that's not true. No, that's not true. We're good. Instead, what do we get? MSNBC hired Andrew McCabe. MSNBC's got John Brennan, the former CIA director. Now, look, again, I will stress, maybe it makes sense to hire someone like him. But why do they always have to be the conspiracy theorists who have pushed all this nonsense? Look at Malcolm Nance, former Naval Chief Petty Officer. Nance has also been noted for pushing the collusion conspiracy theory, among other things. Weird conspiracies about Trump sending secret messages or something. He said something like, there are people who believe Trump is sending subliminal messages. Yeah. So he was the guy who said subliminal messages. There was another guy in MSNBC who said, he said that Trump was going to raise the flags on August 8th because August 8th is 8/8. I kid you not. It's a bunch of conspiracy wackos. At the very least, I can criticize them for bringing on all of these very obvious personalities with the same point of view. But can we stress that many of them were conspiracy theorists who were wrong wrong about everything, and they're still being hired. If you want to hire someone because you think they have insight, fine. But why the conspiracy theorists? So, Jeremy Bash is the last one they name, former CIA chief of staff. Now, there you go. The very last name, they say nothing. He just worked for the CIA. I'm happy with that. I am. It's fine. You've got someone with experience. They don't put here anything about him hating Trump. Okay. But at any rate, you tell me why you think they're hiring all these people. I know there's a lot of people who believe in conspiracies. I think it's just nepotism. Nepotism. It's a bunch of high-profile individuals who keep ragging on Trump, and they all hate Trump, and they have Trump derangement syndrome, so there you go. You get a job. Congratulations. I got one more segment coming up for you in a few minutes. Stick around. I will see you all shortly.